Welcome to Chapter 1. Going to be providing just a brief overview of this chapter as we look at drug use from a sociological perspective. And so really what this chapter does is help define, what does the term drug mean? What is a drug? Obviously emphasizing that we're going to have different variations of that definition from one person to another. Now, the three definitions in which sociologists are most interested are based on medical utility, illegality, and the psychoactivity. Now, the fact that some substances influence how the mind and therefore the brain works, and that it powerfully influences behavior, which then in turn influences how and whether and to what extent they are used recreationally, or in other words, how are drugs used to get high. And then they also looks at how their use, possession, and distribution are defined by social custom and the law, as whether they're legal or illegal. And then finally, what is regarded as abuse or misuse of the drug or substance. Now, there are different types of drugs or drug use that can be defined according to whether they're illegal or legal, and whether the person that's using them attempts to achieve an instrumental or recreational goals. Now, when we talk about instrumental goals, that's talking about one that's designed to achieve goals of which the society approves. In other words, you could look at prescription medicine for pain after surgery being an instrumental use, whereas recreational use is more for getting high. Now, drug use can be traced through historical time, which really begins with the natural era, which is when substances were taken directly from nature. Then there's the transformative era, where taking a natural substance and then transforming it through some sort of chemical process or intervention into a more potent and powerful psychoactive substance occurs. And then there's the synthetic era, which is now creating a psychoactive substance that's entirely from a chemical. In fact, it's not even found in nature. It's entirely derived from a chemical, and therefore it's synthetic. Now, federal and state governments have attempted to control drug use and distribution through the law, which creates different schedules of substances. You have a Schedule 1, 2, 3, and 4 of substances on the federal level, and then states have their own. Now, these schedules are aimed at penalizing or punishing the possession or use and sale on the basis of whether they're useful in medicine and whether they have a potential for abuse or continued compulsive use. Now, really, the chapter's objective is to understand what's the interaction or interface between a substance's natural or psychopharmacological effects, and then how the drug experts, society, and the law define it and its users. So that's a brief overview of Chapter 1. Next week we'll take a look at Chapter 2, which explores drug use from a pharmacological perspective.